So hey guys, welcome to a new episode of my channel. Sorry, it's been quite a while since I uploaded my last video, but due to some issues I wasn't even able to record my video. But no worry, now we are back on business. Okay, now I'm going to be uploading videos every week and maybe even quicker than that, just to cover my mistakes and all. Okay, so let that go past. Today we are going to learn the note graph of this guitar for the 6 strings and all over till 20th fret. Every place in the guitar has a note name. Okay, every place in the guitar can be identified to just one name. If you say A, you will get to at least some place in the guitar. So today we are going to learn what is the note graph of this whole guitar. Okay, what are different name of the strings, different name of the frets of different strings. Okay, so let's start with first thing. There are 6 strings in the guitar, as we already know. We have already named it like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, starting from the bottom. So let's they are actually pre-established names of the strings. Let's get through that. So the first string, that is the bottommost string, it's known as the E. It's known as the E string, or I'd rather say E note. E note of this string. So it's the E note. The second string is the B note. All these notes I'm telling about the open notes. Okay, so starting, first string is the E note, second string is the B note, third string is the G note, and fourth string is the D note, fifth string is the A note, and sixth string is again the E note. Okay, let's recall that. It's E, B, G, D, A, and again E. So we have established these names of these open strings. So now we are going to see that all over the fretboard what are the name of different notes. Okay, so we know that one thing, that every note repeats itself after 12 frets. For example, if you play the E note at the first string, E note if you play, so the 12th fret of the first string, it will be the same note, just in the higher pitch. You get my point? Okay, for example, if you play the D note, that is the fourth string, if you play the D note, 12th fret, it will again be D note. So okay, there are 12 notes in between every note. Okay, there are 12 notes in between that every note can repeat itself. Okay, so what are these 12 notes? Okay, there's this progression you should probably remember, and not probably, you should remember. That's the most important thing if you're trying to study the scales of a guitar. Okay, so every major scale has this progression. It's whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. I'd rather say it again. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So what is this whole and what is this half? Whole is that actually the complete note. Okay, jumping from a major note like C, jumping to directly D, that's a whole note. Okay, so what is difference between a whole note and a half note? So whole note consists of 2 half notes. Okay, so if we start from C, the half note from C is C sharp. Okay, there are sharps and flats all over the guitar. Okay, in between the scales, in between those 7 notes, there are sharps and flats, and 5 of them have sharps, 2 of them don't have sharps. So remember this. If we start from C and we go through a progression whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, so we'll get that C. Okay, so between 2 holes there is a half note. So C, C sharp, D. Okay, that's how a whole note is completed. There is always a sharp. Okay, so then we get to the half note. So half is a place which note doesn't have a sharp. For example, E doesn't have a sharp. So whenever E comes, there is half. Okay, we jump only half a step. And B also doesn't have a sharp. So at the time of B, we jump also half step. Okay, rest every note, every spaces between the notes, we jump the full step. Okay, because the half is a sharp. Okay, so if we start from C, we jump the full note C to D. Okay, we jump again full note D to E. So as per the progression, it's half, and E doesn't have a sharp. So E to F, E doesn't have a sharp. There is no half note in between. So E to F is also half note. It's not a full step. It's a half step. E to F. So okay. So just follow this progression: whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, and you get every note on the guitar. Like for example, I'm gonna explain you. Okay, let's see the second string, which is the B note. Okay, the open string is the B note. Okay, following the progression, if you want to know where is the G note in the second string, so we'll go with B. As B doesn't have a sharp, we go directly to C. Okay, this is a half note. So B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E. E doesn't have a sharp. We directly jump to F. F. F sharp, and it's G. So what's G? It's actually 8th fret of the second string. Okay, that's how we found G. Noticing that E doesn't have a sharp, B doesn't have a sharp, we just progress the whole. Okay, and then we go further. We are in the 8th fret known as the G note. We'll go G sharp, A sharp, we'll go B. So as we proved it again that B is on the 12th fret and B is also the open string, that proves that every string, every note repeats itself after 12 frets. Okay, so just remember this progression and you'll get every note on the guitar and every place has a name, so you get the name and you play accordingly. For example, if someone will play A on the 3rd string, you know where you get it. Start from the G note here, you get a G sharp and then you get a A. So A is the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Okay, so if someone asks you to play this note on these strings and play around all those, play a song around all those notes, you will be able to recognize every note and play a song according to that. Okay, so guys, this was all for this video, and I'll see you next week with my next video. Okay, so do like, share and subscribe my channel Easy Strings on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and do follow the content in all of these platforms. So stay updated with guitar learning aspects, and start from the just basics only. It's not something very pro. So if you want to learn just the basics, okay, stay tuned to my channel. I'm Vaibhav Jain and I'm signing off.